The correct way to script YouTube videos in 2025 to get clients has changed from what worked in 2024. And in this video, I'm going to show you the right way using the same strategies the best in the space use. And to prove to you that this will work for anyone, I've helped this agency owner collect $50,000 from YouTube and also generated close to 2 million views for this YouTube client. With that out of the way, let's get into this YouTube scripting masterclass. Now, there's obviously a few parts to a YouTube script. You've obviously got the hook, body, and outro. To start off with a hook, there's actually a few steps to writing a hook that actually gets views and generates sales. Because let's face it, if people are watching through the hook, one, they're definitely not buying, and two, you're not going to get a view, okay? People are clicking off straight away. Your video is not going to perform. No one's going to watch it. So there's a few things you need to do in a second. I'm going to break down a few examples of a hook in just a few minutes here. Now, there's a few things the hook needs to do. So one, being title reinforcement. This is basically where you reinforce a title. By the way, every one of these things, I'm going to break them down in a second. Two, social proof and credibility. Basically, proof showing why someone should listen to you in the first place. Someone clicks on a video and they don't know who you are, they don't know about your results. Why the heck should they watch through a 10-minute video and even take a piece of your advice if they don't know who you are, okay? And three, setting expectations, aka the video's plan. What is the A to Z in the video? If it's an educational video, of course, what is the A to Z for a viewer to actually absorb the information? Are you going to give them 5 steps they need to follow? The strategy, the formula? What is it? Be specific on the exact plan. I've got a hook example here from one of our client scripts. So the title of the video was the marketing strategy that landed a $350K earthworks project. This guy's in the trades industry, so he helps trades businesses like builders, so on and so forth, get clients through Facebook ads. So he owns an agency and okay, so we've got the script highlighted. This tradie landed a $350K project from a single marketing campaign after launching it 30 days ago. So the green part here, one, already has title reinforcement. The reason you want to do this is just to reinforce the reason they clicked onto the video. Clicked onto the video because they want to learn a market strategy that learned 350K. Boom, the first thing on screen, him saying that plus a screenshot of a Stripe, dashboard saying 350K on invoice, okay? And also a tiny bit of credibility, again, showing that he's an expert, 350K in 30 days, showing this guy knows what he's talking about, okay? And then which comes to setting expectations. So he's already done these 2 things here. Then setting expectations, aka the video's plan, is used here, using a strategy that I'm going to break down in this video. And then also the promise. So the setting of expectations is essentially just the promise of a video. What do you promise to give to people by the end of a video? In this exact instance would be a strategy people can use to consistently generate 20 to 40 leads per month that this person used to generate 350K in sales in 30 days off of Facebook ads, okay? Get to another example here. Founder CEO shares of books that built him a $1 million business in 1 year, okay? So here we've got these 3 books have allowed me to make over X amount online. Again, reinforcing the title plus providing a tiny bit of social proof. These made me $1 million online. Okay, I need to find out what these books are so I can also make $1 million online, okay? And then this yellow part is, again, setting expectations and leaving the plan. So the plan will be, this is going to help no matter what, wherever you are in life, successful or not, make more money, okay? And then he breaks down kind of his story. And just basically, he's going to break down the 5 lessons and the 5 books. So he gives more social proof here. I went from stuck in my 9 to 5, making just a few K a month, to now living in Dubai, making over 100K per month. And also, again, setting expectations. These 5 books changed my life. And an extra bonus tip for anyone watching this, if you're doing more so B2C, this does work for B2B as well. If you're doing B2C sort of content, you can actually have a FOMO/urgency play in the intro. So if you look here, now if you can't see and can concentrate to hear the 5 most important lessons that got me to 100K per month for a few minutes, that will work for you too, I'm sorry, but you'll never become successful. What you want to do is kind of have like a mini FOMO/urgency play in the intro, basically saying, if you don't watch this video through, you're basically too lazy and you're never going to make it. Makes a person think, shit, okay, I need to commit at least 10 minutes to find this information to prove to myself that I'm committed to achieving whatever result. Losing weight, making more money, growing a business, so on and so forth. Okay? Now, once you've got the hook out of the way, we're going to go into the next part, which is a body, which once you've got the hook done, it's going to be the most important part of the video, because one thing hooking in the viewer in, but if you can't retain the attention throughout the complete video, you're just going to lose viewers and there's basically no point making a video. So for the body, you don't want to make the same mistake that's actually 99% of people make. That just makes them sound like a robot, and of course, 0 sales, 0 views, and no one's even going to want to buy from you if you just sound like a robot. Might as well just watch a fucking Mr. Beast video, because if you sound like a robot, you're not going to build trust. Who's going to buy from a robot? Okay? So instead, for the body, you don't want to write things script by script and just read off of it like a robot, just reading everything, looking here, camera, looking, camera. So it doesn't flow well, okay? You're not going to build rapport. So what you want to do is give yourself a few notes to cover your points. So for example, bullet point A, bullet point B, bullet point C. I'm going to break these down in a second with a few kind of examples of how I've done it before. And then a kind of mental framework I use is think of it like a presentation. You're not going to sit in front of a business meeting or your college classroom and just basically read off of the whole script like a robot and just sound so uncharismatic and boring. You're going to, go over your points. You're going to elaborate on the points on your slideshow. You're not going to read everything off of a script or whatever it is. So think of your YouTube video as kind of like a public speaking gig or, a presentation. And then also you can follow frameworks just to give yourself a tiny bit extra structuring, which I'm going to break down in a second. This way, you're obviously going to come off more natural and you're going to be able to build rapport with a viewer, because no one's going to build rapport with someone just reading off of a script. You want to bring out your personality, get people to know you by using your own phrases, your own kind of way you speak, all that good stuff. And then also, it's going to be more fun to film. You get some deliver more real and authentic value, basically, coming off more as a human again. Okay, so a few examples for a body. I'm going to give you a framework here we used. So for this exact video, which was breaking down the books and the lessons you got from the books, I gave them a framework you could use. So one being introduce the lesson you got from a book. Example, my first lesson, which doubled my sales from reading XYZ book, basically just introduce the first thing. So the first thing to make you more money is XYZ, or the first thing to lose weight is XYZ, okay? 2, kind of explain why/how this lesson was important. So explain the thing, give reinforcement to the statement you're making. Why is the thing you just mentioned, why is that going to get you the result? Is it because it enhances your metabolism, enhances your sales process, enhances your content? How does the thing you've mentioned benefit the viewer in reaching their goal? And then 3, give actionable takeaways for a viewer to actually implement the lesson. What are the steps the viewer can follow step by step to see some sort of result? Is it do this, do that, do this, okay? What are the exact steps the viewer needs to follow to actually achieve a result with the thing you mentioned, okay? And then, throughout your body, you obviously want to include as much social proof and anecdote as possible. So basically giving your own stories and just giving social proof, really just to build more trust with the viewer and position yourself more as an expert. That was a framework structure we followed for a client. We've got another structure, which personally is better and it's going to provide more value. It's basically just a bullet point structure. So you have a main topic, break down the overall influencer campaign. This client makes videos about influencer marketing, and basically we wanted to break down the campaign, okay? And then we've given him a few bullet points. So break down the objectives of a campaign, platforms you chose to do with influencer marketing, so on and so forth. For example, let's say you're a fitness coach, you could say break down the best diet for losing weight, okay? What is the main diet? Introduce a diet, it's this diet, boom, boom, boom. Break down the steps of doing a diet, and then 3, break down the foods to the diet, so on and so forth. You want to give a main topic, which is this, and you want to give mini subtopics beneath it, which will help you deliver the obviously main topic. Once you've got the body done, then you move on to the outro. And if you get this part wrong, you're basically going to end up wasting days of production, money on the team, and just time recording videos that aren't going to bring you any sale. So when you sell in your videos outro, there's a few things you must do. One is you need to reinforce the value you provided in the video. This is just going to be a reciprocity effect. Mention the value provided in the video. People are going to be like, okay, this guy provided value. Let's go and see what sort of other value he can provide. I want to give back. Let's go and check out his website, get the lead magnet, go on and so on and so forth. And it doesn't come off as salesy. You've given him value. Okay, this guy's now going to pitch me. That's fine. He's giving me value. I don't mind. No hard feelings. Okay. 2 is pretty obvious. You want to speak to a viewer's goals and pains. And then 3, you want to briefly explain your solution and where the viewer can find it if they're interested. So what website do I need to go to? Do I need to go to a certain link? What are the steps from A to Z they can follow to get exact help from you? Buying something, booking in a call, break down the exact steps they need to follow. Okay. And then 4, provide further social proof around your solution. Again, just provide more social proof. Really prove to a viewer that you can deliver on your promise and what you're kind of pitching to them. Now, a few examples of outros are, I've got one written here. Boom, right here is number 1, reinforce the value. That's everything I've done to help this in-person business generate the same revenue that they would normally take them a week, a month to generate. But with my strategies, it took them just a week. The video is basically breaking down how an ad campaign generated a business revenue that would take a month to generate in just 1 week. There you go. I've got the reciprocity. 2, speak to the viewer's goals. So basically breaking down how we can generate more sales right here, how I could do the same for your business, generate more sales, obviously. Then break down the exact, solution and how to actually find it right here. Feel free to schedule a call with the first link in the description where we'll go over the exact details and everything you need to possibly know. And then finally, cherry on the top to final everything is provide further social proof. Right here, just broken down a few case studies. So a client name generated 100K in profit or 100K in sales. Another business generated £40,000, so on and so forth. You just want to include social proof showing the A to Z transformation of your clients. What was the results you actually generated for them? That's my exact YouTube script writing process, start to finish. I generated this client 50K in sales from YouTube, and I've generated almost 2 million views for our other clients. Now, if you're a B2B business owner or a course seller and you'd be interested in finding about our YouTube funnel, which will book you anywhere from 5 to 30 sales calls per month, all you need to do is just head to a first link in the description, schedule in a free call, and I'll kind of run you through the strategy of how we can get similar results for your business like we've done for other business owners, as I mentioned before. Anyways, thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.